Last speaker is Hank Roberts, who, just let me get your title right here, Association of Teachers and Lecturers, National President, and Brent Secretary, speaking in personal capacity.
I emphasise these are my own views because I could get in a lot of trouble for them. I have been in a lot of trouble previously on numbers of occasions. First of all, I'm working class. I consider teachers working class because they have to sell their labour power to live. The capitalist class is quite small, and even within that, it's a tiny, tiny, tiny minority that are controlling and running everything. It is true they have their ideological supporters, but our real enemies are a tiny, tiny number. We could take control in this country and run it tomorrow if people had their minds right, like Paul Newman said before that great film, before he eats the 50 eggs. If you haven't seen it, look it up, okay? He ate the full 50 eggs because he got his mind right. That's our main task. It's very interesting, obviously, it's good when you challenge anything. So if you get a number of a vote saying these people are bastards, okay, vote for us, that's good. But you say the numbers are small. That's right, that's the problem. What we have to do, our task, is transform the thinking and also the action of all of our colleagues in the working class, in all of our unions, all of our workplaces, wherever we show and work together. That's the task. How are we going to go about that? That's crucial. Well, I think, for example, the RMT is doing a very good job within their union. I joined ATL. I joined all of the unions to try and unite them. That's why I'm in ATL. ATL were the moderates, weren't meant to be taking any action and what have you. Lo and behold, just recently, they not only took their first strike in 127 years, that's not bad, is it? They took 2 strikes, okay? That's the ATL, the moderates. We all can make a huge difference, some more than others, but all of us can make a difference. And however much difference we can make, what we have to do in this situation is up a game. They're getting away with absolute bloody murder. It is completely outrageous and ridiculous. There's a book I've left it there, I forgot it. Now, 1986, the Big Bang. After that, chief executives of the CEOs of the big banks, okay, in Britain, how much do you think they were getting times in their salary of an ordinary bank worker? I'll show you. 7. Okay, 7 times. Do you know what it is now? Okay, can't see if you can keep up, all right? It's sort of audience participation. I think I probably went over it, but it was 230 times. It's a sort of visual aid anyhow, I expect you couldn't keep up with it. 230 times from 7. This is replicated across all the other big people at the top. You know, it is the most shocking and outrageous. 1922, or it might have been 21, was the height of inequality in Britain in the last century. Okay, over a long period of struggle, of fighting for the vote, for democracy, for women, increasing the extension of the vote, setting up the trade unions, increasing the organisation. Then, of course, the war and the impact there of people coming back saying, we're not having any more of that. Great film, that recent one by, people seen that, Spirit of 45. Okay, it increased up until the 80s. Okay, just the beginning of the 80s. Equality increased. Okay, and obviously lots of things were taken after the war into state ownership. Problems with that, but still an advance. State education was improved even during the war. But since that time, it's got worse and worse, and it is now worse than 1921 or 2, whichever it was, the height. It is worse now. So again, what are we going to do? Well, I'll tell you what things I've done with others. We occupied the site over there, set up a tent. These bastards coming to build a privatised academy on it. Okay, held them up, built tree houses, de-locked myself to the thing. I got 3,000 something pound fine for that. Brent were going for it to be 7,000 in cost, so it wasn't as bad as it might be. But the point about it was a whole load of us there doing that. People involved in that were educated politically on what these people are like and also what they can do about it. We held them up for 5 years. Great victory. Sorry, it is a victory. Not doing anything would be defeat. Resistance is what's needed. So long as you're resisting, that's the right thing. And if you increase the level of resistance, ultimately victory is certain. Absolutely obvious, isn't it? Resistance goes up and up and up. In the end, they're finished. Okay, so that's what we've got to do. It started, the resistance has started now, it's getting a bit better. They've tried now, again, over at my school. Not surprising, of course they're going to come for us at some stage, and they said, right, we're going to force you to become an academy. We've already had 2 strikes. We'll do absolutely anything and everything that we can to fight it. But the point about it is, we will resist as hard as we can. We won't try others to try and resist. The point is that if everybody had done the level of resistance, for example, that we did to try and stop an academy on that site around the country, they wouldn't blinking have any. So we've got to get that lesson across, obviously, to all the other people to get them. This is a good meeting. I've been to one once, so there were 5 on the platform. Right. 5 on the platform and 2 in the audience. But our quorum for Brent was 75 members. And we used to have a regular quorum. We had a meeting of 600 teachers once. Okay, so we're not there yet. We've got to get realistic. We're not there yet. We have to get there. Ultimately, okay, we're going to have to build a new society. That's the truth. We can't have this. There was a change after the war, but they were backsliding. Over there, the 3 people that ran ARC, okay, Archie Bousson, he was up the Labour Party's backside, and what are you giving them money? Okay, Paul Marshall was the Lib Dems, and Stanley Fink, he's the treasurer for the Conservative Party. All working together with those parties to make sure one thing, what? That you support academies, and also early on for making a profit. Okay, this is the one here, run academies for profit, TES, think tank urges. Profit-making academies should be created. A proposal was presented at a seminar attended by senior government advisors, including Andrew, now Lord Adonis. That was in 2005, under Labour. They were planning the whole thing. First one of the first 3 in the country, Wilson High School in 2001. Typical democracy as well, the erosion of democracy, announced by David Blunkett over the radio. Okay, that was the extent of it. Great book by Paul Foote, by the way, How the Vote Was Won and How It's Been Lost. The problem now is their plan is whoever you can vote for, they don't give us stuff. So electing people into Parliament, okay, if it's not without the mass involvement and arousal and fighting spirit of the working class, isn't going to make that much difference. So wherever you are, and I'm not saying this isn't an idea, I think this is they believe in competition, the Labour Party, don't they? Big advocates of competition. Give them some bloody competition then. Shut up moaning about it. Okay, but the point about it is, I'll just say quickly, I've got a couple of minutes left. Go. Right, go. What a blinking lunatic in some ways. It's schools open 51 weeks a year. That's his idea. Okay? I thought, what a bleeding liberal. What about the other week? Couldn't believe it. Okay, they should get rid of him and get somebody tough. So, schools, the terms, all the terms different. What's the sense in that? It's completely balmy. I think, okay, he thinks, well, at least some of the schools then, if there's a whole national strike, because some of the schools will be on holidays, not everybody will be on strike. It's probably that sort of thinking. But it seems completely insane, but actually they just want to smash and destroy completely anything that smacks of not being totally run by capitalists for profit. So that's why they're coming out with all these ideas. I think we're doing well in the circumstances. I'm not a hard bit of doom and gloom. No. I think the resistance is increasing. Things will not get worse forever, will they? If they got carried on getting worse, and they are getting worse at the moment still, but it started to, if they got worse and worse, we'll all be dead. So in that sense, it's not going to happen, is it? Okay, no, so they will get better. So what we've got to do is try to make it to get better sooner. And I think we can do that. Okay, we have that immense strength, I said, in our power. We've got to start getting stuck in. Okay, the going has got very, very tough. And as I said at the ATL conference, it's now time for the tough to get going. So good luck to all of you in taking our historic struggle to overthrow these people ultimately and set up a decent society. That's what it's all about. That's our task, but I think we're up to it. Thank you.